Okay, welcome. Let's do the chakra read for Aquarius. This is going to be a shorter reading here, so that way we're not going to take up too much of your time. So we're going to start with the root chakra first, okay? So let's take a look. Oh, and there we go. So here we have judgment in reverse. Okay, so something about what you have recently experienced or are currently experiencing that is possibly bringing you some fear is either ill treatment, you're not being treated fairly. There's this sense that either you may not feel like you're approved by certain people. There might have been people who you recently have had disagreements with and may have had to kind of break away from, or they broke away from you. And also too, something that could be causing you some fear, especially with everything that's going on right now in the world, is just the uncertainty of what's going to happen, what's going to be pronounced, what's going to be declared. Is there something currently on your mind with either law enforcement or certain rules and things that may be making you feel like you're being very constricted, which everyone's kind of gone through, right? Just because of lockdown and quarantine and things like that. But this kind of goes above and beyond. You might be thinking kind of farther ahead in terms of what could possibly happen if things continue to go the way that they are. Um, just want you to know that things are going to get better if this is you, Aquarius. But yeah, so there's a sense here of that you may you may feel rather boxed in, and that boxed in feeling is creating a lot of fear and anxiety for you, whether that's just kind of on that personal level or more like just everything else that's going on right now. Okay, so when it comes to that, remember, you need to remind yourself that you're safe, because you really are. You're safe. If relationships change, that just means that it's just no longer a vibrational match. So let's take a look at the sacral chakra for Aquarius, please. Oh, and there we go. Nine of Pentacles. So on the outside, you have this, you display the emotions of confidence. You display the emotions of being able to stand on your own 2 feet, just be really independent, like you have all your shit together. Okay. However, the drawback to feeling like, or for people to see you where you have everything together, you don't need anything, you still feel an emotional longing. There's still a void where it's like, I want to feel like someone can also take care of me, can also fulfill my needs. Which is true and which is true and not true to an extent, more not true than true, is what I'm going to tell you. But you have to also remember too, with whether you're a man or a woman, it's the feminine energy is something where you you kind of push away anything that someone else can give to you. Like, oh no, 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 you don't have to do that. You block your own blessings. So even if it may not be like a front with the independence and confidence, because I do think that Aquarius, you have that. But the flip side to that too is, sometimes you can also make it hard to receive what's coming to you. Okay. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you remain open to receiving. You want to make sure that that feminine side, this is something that I work on with my clients too with energy clearings, is that you are open to blessings. Okay, so let's take a look at the solar plexus for you, Aquarius. Excellent. The Fool. Okay, so there's something here that you've been wanting to step forward into for a while, and what can happen? What can happen if the solar plexus really isn't balanced? Is you can take a leap without no parachute. Not like you, not like you've always need a parachute, but you take a leap, but you have no. You're not really paying attention to the actions that you are, that you do that can actually be a drawback if you don't really think things through. There might be an impulsivity, is basically what I'm saying with this. If you act really impulsively, sorry for all the glare here, if you act really impulsively, um, whatever may come, even if things turn out very well, they might not last if it really truly isn't who you are. So just remember that um, you can still take a leap, you can still step out of your comfort zone, but be strategic about it. Okay, Aquarius, you're a thinker. You can also be a planner, but when you're trying to reinvent something, you want to take a look at all angles before doing anything. So what I would probably say with that, with the solar plexus, is make sure that there's a method to your seeming madness. Make sure that you are strategic about it, so that way you can follow through with the plan. And then, because if it doesn't go as planned, then you know where you can tweak things and still continue moving forward instead of giving up altogether. Let's take a look at the heart. Heart, please, for Aquarius. Okay. Six of Pentacles. So with this in particular, you want to, since this is pertaining to the heart center, make sure that you're paying attention to those who are around you. Make sure that you are giving enough attention to those in your near vicinity who may need your time and attention. Perhaps your affection, whether that is children, whether that is your parents or your close friends. It seems like there are people who are vying for your attention right now. So make sure that you are spending some quality time with them. Okay, because the heart is all about being able to give openly, giving freely from that space. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention to that. Let's take a look at the throat chakra. Aquarius. Okay, so Three of Pentacles here. So when it comes time to accomplishing your goals, there does seem to be like there's other people involved besides just you. So if you have to be collaborating with anyone else, make sure that as you're speaking from a place not of irritation, anger, frustration. As things can arise for you, make sure that you're also not speaking out of a place of fear. Okay, so that way you can make sure that whatever you say doesn't land incorrectly, that it doesn't come out distorted. All right, because this is a card too of success. So it does feel like whatever it is you've been working on, you have been gaining some success. So just make sure that you don't not necessarily bite the hand that feeds you, but you don't want to burn any bridges. All right, so let's take a look at the third eye for Aquarius. There we are. All right, so Four of Cups. Four of Cups for the third eye. So with this particular card, what I'm getting is that as you are renovating, right? You're cleaning house in the mental department. So when it comes to the beliefs that you're holding, the thoughts that you frequently are having, that you are actually being very intentional on how you choose your thoughts, which is a really great thing to be doing. But it still seems like it's hard. There's some difficulty there with accepting um, different ways of thinking about yourself, and because some of the things you may feel like you're not buying it. You see the rejection there. You're just not buying it, and that's okay. So you don't want to force anything or necessarily fake it, but it's really more of the practice, because remember that the belief is just a thought that you keep repeating enough times until it becomes just what you naturally gravitate towards, and what you base your feelings and your actions on. So just remember that if you are trying to choose thoughts and beliefs that are serving you, and you know that they will serve you in the future, that it's just more of that practice. It's that repetition. And when you think about whatever thought that is, or the belief that it is that you want to have about yourself, if you take certain actions that help to reinforce those things. So, for example, if you want to say that I'm patient, if you deliberately take action with certain opportunities that come up where you can exercise that patience, that's going to reinforce that. So it's not like it's a fake it till you make it thing. It's more of I'm acting in alignment with that, so that now becomes a part of who I am. Okay. So now let's take a look at the crown. Oh, let's see here. Four of Swords. So this one's really, really interesting because this is a card of in the original tarot, can be a card of like illness or death, respite. Okay, so taking a break. Um, because of this is the card in the crown chakra, what I'm really getting here with this is that you may have resigned yourself to something that you may have wanted to go after. There might have been an intent, a goal, a desire, a dream, but you kind of just resigned that, well, that's just never going to happen. Okay. Um, and is that necessarily the truth? Well, it can be the truth if that's what you have decided. Okay. So the thing is, in the crown chakra, it's all about giving yourself the permission for something. And if you truly never gave yourself permission for the thing that it is that you wanted to go after, then it's probably not going to happen. Okay. But you have to remember that you are a sovereign being. You have the ability to create whatever it is, that you are wanting to. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a fate per se. Okay. You can still go after what it is that you want, or you could just choose something else. It does kind of feel like you've given up on something. So understand that, if it's still something that is kind of sitting like nagging in the back of your head that you really want to do, then go ahead and take steps for that. You might surprise yourself then once you say, I give myself permission to do this. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. I do a monthly subscription tarot chakra read exactly for you, pre-recorded, and I will send you the link. Check on plans and pricing and my website, and you can sign up for that. No obligation, you can cancel at any time. Thank you for watching.